Before I begin, I'd like to say that I'm not doing this for attention. I'm not doing this for any reason other than the fact that this needs to be said, and I can't stand it anymore. And it's really it's gotten out of control, um, and it's not acceptable. Seeing, I follow a couple people who daily they get anonymous hate messages and horrible things, and it really it's really heartbreaking for me to see how um, as a community of people, um, not just the LGBT community, not just um, the black community against racism, um, nothing, not even in particular, but just as a community of human beings trying to fight against, um, just against bullying and against hatred and against horrible, making people feel bad against a community of people. I just don't understand why people feel the need to hate on others. Best way to put that, that I can think of at the moment. It's ridiculous because I I could never send an anonymous hate message. Um, I don't see the point in it. One, and two, all it really does is showcase the character of the person sending it, and that is the reason they're anonymous, because people don't want to face that. I think maybe it's more internal, is that they don't want to face that about themselves, and it would just be a reminder. I don't know, but they definitely don't want other people to think about them negatively. So whether that's because people generally have a good view of them and they don't want that preconceived thought to change because of what they said, so they do it anonymously, I don't know. But there is no excuse for it. Why? How is taking time out of your day to say something hurtful to another person worth it? How is that worth it? Because honestly, for the person who's sending it, it's just a waste of time. They could be doing something constructive with their life. Um, I, I don't understand why. So, and then when I read these things, most of it is a lie. Um, some of it is a factual lie, and other is an opinion that I don't agree with. But everyone is entitled to their opinion. However, I don't believe that if you have a negative opinion, that it's necessary to make it known. Um, if I don't think someone is the prettiest human being on earth or whatever, I'm not gonna go and say, "Oh, look how ugly you are." Like, that's just mean. Why? And that's my opinion. Someone thinks they're beautiful, and they are beautiful. Everyone is beautiful in their own way, and it's ridiculous to make someone feel like shit. It's unacceptable. Um, and there's no excuse for it. Whether you feel crappy about yourself, that's not an excuse to make someone feel crappy about themselves. It's not. As someone who has, I've been on both sides of it. I used to be someone who, I've always been bullied for my whole life, and at times I had made people feel crappy, and I honestly regret that. Um, that was years ago, but I still feel horrible about that. Now there's some people I don't like. True, everyone has those people, but I don't go up to them and say, "Oh, I hate you. You are blah 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 blah." Like that's just not. It's not right. Um, there's a growing, with the growing epidemic of people, especially teenagers and people in their early 20s, um, committing suicide or having a very, very low self-esteem. Um, we're supposed to be fighting back. That's like To Write Love on Her Arms, great organization that fights back against that. And then we are supposed to be there for other people and be supportive of them. Sending anonymous hate is not, it's just not right, and honestly, there is no point. Why is making other people feel bad such a priority in the lives of these people? I don't understand why that takes precedence over, I don't know, whatever they do as a hobby other than sending on hate. That could be considered a hobby for some of these people. But I guess the whole point is I don't understand why people do this. There's no point to it. It just shows a lack of morals and a lack of good precepts in people's lives, and it just is not, it's not right. I see these people that I follow, and I can't stand it because I see it, and then I see these people starting to feel bad about themselves when they are beautiful people and whatever was said to them is completely false. One person I follow right now, I'm not going to say URLs or anything, but one person I follow right now, they're being harassed by like 3 different people, and you can tell because of their lack of grammar. But 3 different people are harassing her because of something she was voicing. She was actually excited about it. Her mom is becoming more accepting of her, and I personally understand how that feels because my mom is on the same path to accepting me, and it's really difficult because sometimes we have good days and sometimes we don't, but saying that my mom doesn't love me, or having people tell me that my mom doesn't love me and she'll never accept me, that's not true. She will. It will take time. It will take time. I told her, she found out the thing that she's growing towards accepting of. She found out something when she was 50 years old. So that's 50 years of growing up in this mindset. 50 years of things she believed that is now kind of not being thrown in her face, but being challenged. And these 50 years of beliefs, that's not gonna change overnight. It's not. So that's what I say about that. And then they're also hating on her and harassing her about her relationship, and that's just wrong. You don't know everything that goes on in a relationship unless you are in it, whether that be a romantic relationship, a a platonic relationship between friends, a family relationship, whatever the relationship is between people, you don't know what goes on in the inside of that relationship unless you are in that relationship. And to harass someone based on what you think goes on, there's no logic. There's no good reason. But especially when you say things to them and you are just so sure of yourself after they clearly said the opposite many, many times, and making it clear that what an Anon has said to them is blatantly incorrect. Just don't there's no reason to keep coming back at them. Then this other person I follow every single day, multiple people write and ask and say, "You're so ugly, you're not pretty, I don't know why you think you're pretty, you're ugly," and blah 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 blah. And some days the responses are like, "I know." There is no excuse for making someone feel that way, to where they respond with an affirmation of hatred they just received. There's no excuse for making someone feel that way. If you're listening and you know who you are very beautiful, and don't let them tell you otherwise, because it's absolutely ridiculous, and it's wrong. You are beautiful. Every one of you are beautiful in your own way, and just because some people don't see that, you know, that's their own thing. Because a lot of people do see it. And if you ever feel like there's no reason to be here, I felt that way, by the way. I'm speaking from experience. If you ever feel like there's no reason to be here and life isn't worth it, it is, because I'm not just going to say it gets better, but because it does get better, but the road to that better place, it's one of the hardest roads that you will go on in life, and you just have to push through it. Every single day, just think you're one day closer to when it is going to be better. And think of all the people around you that really do love you, and there are people out there, you know, that person in your class who maybe has never talked to you, maybe they're really shy and they just haven't gotten the nerve to. Your friends, they really care and they would miss you a lot. Your family, even if you feel they don't care, they really do. Whatever they do that seems hateful, they're not doing it to be hateful. They mostly it's because they've been raised to believe in a certain thing, and if that's challenged, whatever they do to attempt to resolve that is done out of love. And even though that is really confusing and hard to believe, why would you hurt someone out of love? Well, that's all they know. They're not trying to hurt you, and they do love you, and you are beautiful. So I guess what I have to say is, if you send anonymous hate, I really hope that you look inside yourself and try to figure out why you do that, because you should take care of whatever that is, because sending anonymous hate is not right, and there's no excuse for it. There's no excuse to make people feel bad about themselves. or to try to make people feel bad about themselves. Um, so really search. I really hope that you would search inside yourself and find out why you do that, and really try to remedy that. This video has gotten really long, so if you've listened till now, I applaud you. And remember, you are beautiful and you are amazing. I hope you have a wonderful day and rest of year, month, life. You are loved.